Wide receivers. This is a big combine for wide receivers because there is so many questions still to answer. There is such little consensus. I have right now the top tier of wide receivers is 4 players. Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and Zay Flowers. Now, part of the reason I can't come up with an order is, well, who are we talking about? Are we talking about the Patriots? Are we talking about a team picking ahead of the Patriots, right? Because there are some teams I think might have Quentin Johnston as their top wide receiver. There's some teams that might have him as their 4th. Right. But even within that, it's a little tough to tell the order right now. So I think with Addison and Flowers, the measurements are going to be big.
Yep.
And I think when it comes to the 40, I'm just assuming Zay is going to run a great 40. I've kind of written assuming that's going to happen. Johnston, Addison, Smith-Ngiba to different degrees are all sort of questions.
Mm-hmm.
For the Patriots fans who want Quentin Johnston, if he runs like high 4.4s and the 4.5s, I'm out. He's not what they need. They need speed. He's not speed. He's just size at that point. If he runs in the 4.3s, like some people think he's going to, he's not going to be there at 14. You're not getting him anyway.
Yeah, right.
So it's a catch-22. It's just interested to see which way it goes with Quentin Johnston. Njigba, kind of similar to me. Elite route runner.
Yeah, he really is.
He's got to prove he is the afterburner to run away after he catches the ball. If he proves he can do that, now I still think he might be on the board at 14 because he doesn't have the size. But like his 40 is going to be telling. And then with Jordan Addison, to me, I think Jordan Addison's top 3 no matter what.
Yeah.
But if he runs the best 40, he's going to come away the consensus number 1 receiver in the draft. So that's what his stakes are.
Yeah.
And for Zay, again, I think Zay's going to run a great 40. Like that's his best trait. There was the picture that was shared over the weekend where he's up from 170 to, he says, 183 and putting on the muscle. Let's see what the measurements are. And let's see where he's at in like the 10-second split, right? How explosive is he? If he does the bench, kind of how he moves in the open field. So his is a little different, but it's going to go a long way in sorting those 4 guys out. Because I'll tell you this, if you think you have those 4 guys sorted 1 through 4 and you're comfortable about that rating, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah,
you can certainly think you have a reason to have them 1 through 4 and be happy about it, but you should not be putting that in pen yet. That should be lightly done in pencil. Because I don't feel comfortable about the way I have. I've been changing it constantly because we don't have enough information yet. We're getting that information this week.
That's why it's a big week. Looking at the wide receivers, I think you're right. I think about the guys outside of Johnston, just Smith-Ngiba, Flowers, and Addison, and I look at them as Patriots-wise, pick 14. That's what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to go Quentin Johnston. I just think that, I see it in the chat, comparing him to N'Keal Harry. I get that you don't want us to do it, but big, slow receiver who has a high ceiling and a low floor. Well, I mean, that's sort of what he is, right? So,
we don't know he's slow yet, but he's going to be one of 2 things.
Fair.
He's going to be a big, fast receiver, and those guys go in the top 10 or the top 5. Mm-hmm. Or he's a big, slow receiver, and the Patriots don't need that. Like, he's one of 2.
Right.
And either way, they're not drafting him. So, and I'll say everything I said about that top group in terms of the sorting it out and where do we go from there, the secondary group of slot receivers, you could say the same thing. And that, to me, is just the order I have them written down because I think
that's where I was going to go. Right.
It's not alphabetically. I'll give it alphabetically so I don't piss people off. Kayshon Boutte, Josh Downs, Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson. That to me is like the secondary tier of slot guys. It's the same thing. 40.
Did you say Jalen Hyatt?
No, I didn't. Jalen Hyatt's not a slot receiver to me.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I also he's Taekwon. They don't need a double dip. They don't need a double dip at that spot. To me, if they're taking wide receiver on day 2, it's one of these 4 guys they need in the slot, and it's Downs, Boutte, Dell, Hutchinson. 40's big for all of them. Measurements are going to be big for Dell. Interviews are going to be big for Boutte. I think agility drills are going to be big for Hutchinson as well.
Yeah, I agree.
And we'll sort that out. I think, again, you can have those 4 in sort of whatever order you want, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but I just think you're kidding yourself if you're comfortable about the order you have them in right now.
Yeah, I would agree. There's no I mean, there's tiers, but there's no separation within those tiers.
Not yet.
So yeah, I'm with you. I'm just taking a look at other receivers that you might want to keep an eye on. Rashee Rice, Parker Washington.
So the one other guy that could sneak, the one guy who could sneak into that second tier group to me is Rakim Jarrett from Maryland. I'm a big fan of his game. I think he slept on because it's Maryland. Like, you don't think of Maryland as being this, although Stephon Diggs went there.
Diggs. Yeah.
They had another one too. Who else went to Maryland? They had another really good receiver. I can't think of it. Anyway, put it in the chat. But that's the one guy I think he could maybe. So let's do this. Actually, if anybody's going to sneak from that second group to the first group, to me, it's Josh Downs. If anybody's going to sneak into that second group, to me, it is Rakim Jarrett. And the one other receiver I'm interested to see, I think he's going to be a day 3 guy, but I want to see him test, is Demario Douglas from Liberty.
Yeah.
Who was a standout at the Shrine Bowl and looked really explosive to me. So I don't have a ton of exposure to him because I didn't watch a ton of Liberty, and it's kind of tough to find stuff. But I'm interested to see how he tests.